story. So where do we go to next, Stephen?
Why don't we shift on to energy, and particularly the grids, which we know quite well. We do work in that space a lot ourselves in our professional capacity.
We do, and we're being grown-ups.
But this is a really interesting study that happened using AI optimized wind farms in the UK. And what they found was that by using these wind farms, and for those that don't know, that it might sound like it's just a kind of a standard windmill that's there, but actually, they are all placed in specific locations. They are banked, with different rows. They go in slightly different directions and and pivot depending on what's going on. And how you do that, and how you basically kind of just feather that positioning of it, can make a really big difference to the amount of electricity you're going to generate. Anyway, what they found was by using the AI systems who are doing this in real time and doing that kind of pivoting live and doing that constant monitoring, they were able to get between 3 and 5% more energy output. Now that again might not sound like a lot, but actually when you're talking about wind farms and grid systems, 3 to 5%, that's huge, right? And the difference that has for both the energy that it's creating, but also maybe you need less, intrusive windmills that people don't necessarily want in their area. But so the ones that you do have, or the ones that are there, are optimized so you can get the best out of them.
I think they were talking about no new turbines, but where they had the AI dynamically adjusting, and this is where you get to say some cool jargon, adjusting the turbine blade pitch in yaw in real time, 1 million more homes powered without extra turbines, just because you've got that precision. Because you can imagine the complexity. And again, not to take away from the humans who are incredible, but this is where you can actually use AI to model this across time and get the smaller nuances.
Yeah, and when you're talking about humans being involved in that, especially with winds, that is a 24/7 one. This is working at 3 a.m, right? When the humans are largely in bed and you've got the monitoring that's going on. This for me is one of the kind of the no-brainers for AI, where this is one that there's a positive aspect in here.
Exactly.
Positive aspect.
In the UK and everywhere, really, that's where you're trying to figure out how we use renewables. And when we put the kettle on, I think there's a huge surge in the UK. Insert the name of a classic, UK TV show, when we turn all the kettles on and watch it at night. Yep. And you've got that, obviously, the wind taking over at night, just one of the renewables, obviously. And because it is hard to forecast, right? You can't tell when the sun's going to shine or the wind will blow. You can optimize this so much more dramatically and improve that prediction window.
No, I really like this one, which was, this might sound a little bit freaky for people, but this is using drones to detect heat loss in certain parts of the UK, right? And then by doing that, and so basically what happened in the dead of night, you've got these drones that are flying over parts of the city,
not alarmed
right?
at all yet, Steve.
Not alarmed at all, right? And what they're doing is that they're looking for the heat signatures of the houses that are radiating the ambient heat that's going out, that clearly don't have the insulation or the energy efficiency, etc. that's there. So basically what they were doing was seeing what was going on and then using that in order to target the households that needed the help. So rather than doing the blanket leafleting and trying to contact everyone in a whole area, etc., they were literally able to target those households to say, maybe you could be looking at heat loss prevention, and this could be saving you thousands, etc. Made a huge difference. I do struggle slightly with this because you've got drones monitoring in the middle of the night about what's going on. However,
you heard anything over your shed in Fairfield, Steve?
But and this actually won the Manchester Prize, which was using these AI drones to thermal scan whole neighbourhoods. Fascinating. Using those drones, using that AI monitoring, and then targeting, and then being able to get such a positive result that was coming out for those neighbourhoods and for the people that were involved in it.
Incredible. And there's even, some smart green technology where you can turn your brickwork into radiators with these smart external panels. So you're detecting these heat signatures. Yes. There's just so much you can do. So like you said, it's one of the actual good uses of a drone detecting these heat loss.
And let's keep with the drones, because Big one here in Australia is obviously the solar farms that are here, and these can be big, right? And they're only getting bigger. You look at what's going on in the likes of China and actually places like Saudi Arabia, etc. as well. These solar farms are absolutely massive, right? I mean they are really really big. But one of the enemies of these solar farms, especially as the years go by, is dust, bird droppings. Just kind of these solar panels getting covered and losing their efficiencies. And being able to have people who are going and checking that and cleaning that, that's quite the job.
It's quite the job. So this is where you tap your little droney friends and your AI robots, and they can actually obviously replace those weeks of manual inspections, and they can use their thermal cameras, LiDAR sensors. Yes. They can get through the rough terrain because remember, sometimes we've got sheep grazing under these things. Spook the sheep.
So that one's not an AI one, but it's also one that I really love. So that there's a lot of solar farms now, and there's a couple here in Australia that the panels are just slightly higher. But what they do is they provide shade and concentrated water runoff, which means that the sheep graze underneath the solar panels, which actually saves a huge amount of money. So you don't need to kind of keep that vegetation down. So it protects the sheep. It's good for the environment. It's like tick, 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 right?
Yeah.
And you've got sheep grazing in these solar farms, which are now got these drones overhead cleaning the panels.
Exactly, monitoring it and, flagging where, again, not taking the humans out of it. They are flagging, hey, we need to go and fix the wiring of some of these panels, and they're building 3D maps and really optimizing the space. So, again, it's quite incredible what's going on out there. Robot guardians for solar farms, Stephen. Where else have we seen some robots? I'm excited about this one. You kind of let us in.